Oh my gosh. Look what we have here. Oh my god, ladies. I've missed you so much. Hey, Grass. Oh my gosh, I'm so shy. I haven't seen you all in so long. It's been a couple of weeks. Miss me? Miss me? Now you gotta... Me? How are we doing, ladies? Someone said good morning from London, UK. Girl, go to bed. Go to bed. You're doing too much. Hello, 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 Curly Chia. Hello, just browsing. Curly Chia said free consultations. Yes, if you go to the link in my bio, you can book one if your application is accepted. Yes. Treasure Lede said, love you, Professor of Love. Not Professor of Love. I shouted you out on my pod and called you Antoine. Well, girl, you wouldn't be the first. No shade, girl. Thank you so much for the shout out. Pepsi Cola, Lollipop, Anwar on the top. On the top and the bottom. What? What? Am I sharing tea already? No, ma'am. Miss Farrah J said, I love you, feminine energy. Well, someone's got to be feminine up in here. I can't leave it to some of y'all, honey, because some of y'all not giving femininity. Yes? Teacher Lorenz said, you have taught me femininity things. You're so welcome, girl. With my little A cups, sweetie. With my little A cups. Get into it, honey. Who are the other ladies with the A cups in here? Who are my A cup ladies? Do I have any girls with the A cups? Get into it. Because I know y'all not getting all that life, honey. I'm going to give you the A cup life. Usually the double D girls get it and the C girls get it. But some of my A girls and some of my B minus girls, they don't get it. Someone said it's just me. I know that's wrong and right at the same time. Veg Journal said, don't hurt us tonight, Anwar. Do I ever? Do I ever? Kia said, I got my man finally. It's white boy winter. Here's the thing. I live in Montreal, Canada. I stepped outside. I saw snow. I knew it was white boy winter. If you're outside and you see any white, it's white boy winter. If you breathe and you see a little bit of steam and it's white, it means that you're supposed to be with a white man. Do you hear me? You see a piece of paper like this, it means you're supposed to be with a white man. Do you hear me? Everything that you see is white, girl. You see these AirPods? God is trying to tell you something. God is trying to tell you something. Right now, right now, right now. Do you hear me? Do you see my white kitty from Japan? This is your sign that you're supposed to be with a whitey. A whitey McWhite. Do you see some of these vitamin bottles? White. Just saying. Just saying. Okay. Someone said, when did you get on? None of your business, girl. You're late. You're late. Demerit. Love you from Kentucky. Girl, stay right there in Kentucky. Don't come near me with that Kentucky mess, girl. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Coach Anwar. I am a dating coach for Black and brown women. Sometimes the white girls too. But sometimes them. Ugh. If I must. Oh, girl. Girl, I can't. Someone said she just bought white sheets. You already know. You KKK in it, girl. But yeah, so I'm a dating coach. I help women get into the best relationships of their lives. and heal their hearts, more importantly. Yeah? Someone said, you're a mess. Here's the thing, ladies. One, we have to have fun while we're doing this. All of you are so serious while you're dating, and that is actually preventing you from finding your person. Do you understand that the way that you find your person is by having as much fun as possible? So many of you all are so focused, like, I gotta get a husband. I gotta get blah, 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 blah. I gotta get a man so I can have a baby, right? Girl, no. Girl, get your freaking life. The fun girls, the girls that are focused on fun, get their guys. Are y'all focused on fun? If you are, give me a hashtag fun. If you're taking it seriously as if it was the SAT, give me a hashtag SAT. Because when y'all are typing SAT, that's what y'all need to do. Sit your ass down somewhere and calm the hell down. Y'all are typing fun because you think it's cute, but I know that most of y'all are not having fun. Okay, so for all the girls that are SAT, sit the hell down. Calm the hell down. Yeah? In the chat, let me know for the SAT girls, the SAT girls. Oh my God, if I don't do this right, if I don't do this perfectly, I'm not going to get into the best school. I'm not going to get the best guy. Girl. None of that shit matters. Why are you taking this so seriously? What are you making it mean that, like, you have to get a man immediately? Yeah? Someone said the men aren't fun. Well, if you are extra fun, you'll be able to see if they're actually fun or not. Okay? It's very important. So, for those that are new here, you put the questions in the chat and I will answer them. Now, if you're really new, I don't want you to get butthurt if I don't answer your question immediately, because there are going to be thousands of people in here, both on Instagram and TikTok. Put it back in there 5 or 10 minutes later and I will get to it if I can. If I've already answered the question, I'm not going to answer it again. I don't like repeating myself with my children. I'm not going to repeat myself on these lives, girl. Okay? Okay. With that said, put your questions in the chat and I will only answer questions with proper grammar and punctuation. So if I don't see a question mark, you're not getting an answer. I'm not like these other girls. I'm a schoolgirl. We do things correctly around here. Okay? Y'all, don't gas me up. Don't do that. Because you already know. You already know. To love and joy said, I adore you. That's it. That's all. Thank you, girl. Lover T, you were MIA for a while. Glad to see you back. Yeah, girl, you know what the tea was? I was writing my book. Also, I'm like, you know, I'm a dad of 3. So sometimes I got to lean into my parenthood, which is what I have been doing and will continue to do, right? So that's really what's going on. But I'm coming back. I'm back, baby. Even though the TikTok algorithm doesn't give me as much life as it used to. Like, all of my videos used to have like 600 plus views, 600K plus views. Now it's around 200K, but that's cute. Some of the, you know, we'll get that back. It's no tea, no shade. Okay. Morgan says, hi, Anwar. Are only secure men not intimidated by divorced women? I think intimidated is the wrong word here, right? I actually think that a lot of people don't trip on someone being divorced or not, right? But one of the things that I see so often, very seriously, is that so many of us, and let me know if this is you, are so focused on what non-relationship ready men are saying that they're like contorting themselves to this, right? That like, oh my God, Some guy with a podcast mic said that divorced women are the worst. So now you have this idea stuck in your head. Or if you're a single mother, like, oh, I'm never going to date you. Do you know single mothers are getting into relationships, getting engaged, getting married every day? The focus has to be on who is the man who is ready for that. The guys that are talking all that shit, they should not even be in the consideration set. I don't care how tall he is, how fine he is, what his job is. Those men that talk like that are not coming from a place of acceptance and are coming from a place of judgment, were never going to be the great husband that you wanted or needed anyway. So, respectfully speaking, I don't give a fuck what they say. And you shouldn't either. Okay? Someone said, "How old are your children?" No, girl, you're not gonna make me get into the movie Taken 3. You're not knowing shit about my kids, girl, no shade. You're not gonna, single white female me, honey. Okay. Davida said, "How can I identify a man who is ready for a relationship?" You got to get into my program, girl. You got to get into my program. I have a whole online, offline strategy for all that, sweetie. Okay. Thank you so much for the likes. We have about 11,000. Tap, double tap, triple tap the screen so we can, if there's anything that I say that, you resonate with, that you feel like I'm spilling, true tea here, hot, sometimes mild, tap, double tap, triple tap the screen. Eliza said, "What about 20 years old with no experience?" Get the degree. Get the degree. And to let off some steam, kick it with people at college, but you need to get your degree first. Why do I say that? I say that because part of being successful in dating is creating an internal level of safety. And one of the best ways that you can do that as a Black or brown woman or a woman of color or just a woman in general is to have your money up. When you have your money up, you're not focused on needing a man to save you, needing a guy with an amazing job because you want to use him for money, right? You don't want to work anymore. You won't, even though that sounds good and feels good, and even though it feels really safe in here and in here, it's actually the most dangerous position to be in because you are going to be beholden to a man who can drop you like that if he gets bored or if he gets annoyed or if he gets frustrated with you. And then you're shit out of luck. And if you don't believe me, talk to those women who have two or three kids whose man has divorced them and they didn't get the prenup that they should have gotten in a way that would serve them, and now they're trying to get their real estate license. No shade. Get your money up. Keep your money up. Okay? I mean, I work with a certain kind of demographic. These are high-achieving, successful women. And so, there's a different if you're that woman, if you're making 75, 100K or more, your strategy has to be different. And I'm not saying this to be an asshole. That's not my MO. What's important to understand is, if you're a girl who's making 30K, like, your strategy is different than a woman who's making 100 and 150K. And a lot of people aren't talking about this. Yeah. Yemi said, exactly. I walked away after 15 years with nothing. Never again. Yeah. Someone said, not me being a real estate agent catching stray. Real estate agents are not, there was no shade there. It was just an example. Y'all, can I just say something? Can I just do something, sweetie? Y'all can't be like policing every word that I say now. Driss said, is it possible for an entire area of men to not want a relationship? No, that's not true. You said Seattle area. I have a lot of clients that are in relationships in Seattle with Black men, mind you. Very, very possible. Yeah. Again, I think it's really focused on what strategies are you having to find your person? So I guess my question for you, and let me know in the chat, do you have a dating strategy? If not, give me a hashtag no strategy. And spell strategy correctly, please. If not, I'm kicking you out. Do you hear me? Let me know. Do you have a strategy? No, no strategy, no strategy. No strategy. Okay, so, but I think this is important because you have a strategy for absolutely everything else in your life except for dating. Yeah? Very important. You have to have a dating strategy. So if you are needing one, definitely click on the bio, check out. I have courses. I have a coaching program. If you're interested in understanding how to date with strategy, both online and offline. Okay? Someone said my strategy is being hot. Girl, that's the worst strategy to have. I would never want to be hot. Being hot is the worst thing that you can be in dating. I know a lot of y'all think it's the best thing. It's not. It's not. Someone said, oh no. I don't know why y'all saying, oh no. Do you know why it's hard to be super hot in dating? And it's because a lot of the guys that are on your level, physically speaking, are not going to go for you because you're too much work. There are other women that are easier, so they'll just go for them. If you're an 8 or a 9, they'll go for a 5 or a 6 and sleep with them quite easily. Also, what happens is because when you're hot, you're so like out of somebody's like range that you'll have a lot of 3, 4s, and 5s coming at you because they have nothing to lose. They have absolutely nothing to lose. So more of those guys will approach you and try to get with you than the guys that are actually on your level. And then when you don't want to get with them, or you even give those guys even a conversation, those guys will try to humble you and try to bring you down. That's why I would never want to be a 9. Girl, if I was a woman, girl, I want to be a cute 7, 7.5, maybe. Yeah. So something to think about and consider, because y'all are trying to be hot. Girl, be hot for yourself. Don't be hot for men. So the girls that are hot know that I'm telling straight tea. And gay tea. Hello. Awesome. All right, let me see what the girls on IG are talking about. Is kissing on the first date okay? Well, you talking to a former kissing hoe. Girl, I couldn't go on a first date without. And every time I went to the club, I had to kiss at least 3 to 5 men. But I would say this. I think kissing is cute, but if you kiss for 6 seconds or longer, you will actually become attached to that person. Your hormones will wake the hell up, and you might get chemically bonded to somebody just by kissing them. So I personally would not be kissing for more than 6 seconds. Someone asked if I'm married. I'm married, and I'm married with a white man. Yes, honey. Yes, married, suburban mother of 3. I'm a housewife. a lot of these girls out here that are giving you advice, they don't have the range. And you could say I don't have the range either, even though I've been doing this for 16 years. You could say I don't have the range because I'm a man and I'm a gay man. But I actually think that that's like a huge strength for me. So, but yeah, the reason why I say that is because if you are an amazing dating coach, you are also teaching your clients how to date well and also how to relationship well. And those are two very different skills. Dating is about how to allow a man to court you. But once you get into a relationship, you actually have to reallocate that energy into more partnership and filling your man's cup. So it's almost like a 180. So you got to be a girl who can do both if you're going to be successful in dating and in a relationship. And that's what a lot of these girls who aren't in a relationship and have not been and are not married know. They might know how to, not do anything for a man, but how do you shift your identity to being an amazing partner? That's what I help a lot of ladies do, since we get women into relationships every other day in my program. Okay? Someone said, what are the best places to meet men in Atlanta? I'm over it. Okay, so the best place to meet a man in Atlanta is outside of Atlanta. I would go on the app Zillow and move. No, but seriously, suburbs, baby. Suburban tea. Get into it. Beautiful to me. What was your question, honey? What happened to a man that mostly wants to text? Girl, nothing. Girl, nothing. If he's not taking you out every week, he's not it. Okay? Someone said Atlanta's that bad. No, I mean, it's not that bad. Atlanta's easier to date in than Houston is. I would want to be in Atlanta before I would want to be in Houston. That's what I want y'all to know. Okay? I'm 45. Is 35 too young? What's a good age range? Well, I would say this. If you're 45, you should probably be focused on about 6-7 years younger and about 5 years older. Okay? Yeah. Someone said, I listened to your advice and snagged a non-melanated man. I love it. Happy white boy winter to you. Okay? Colorado dating is a nightmare. Why do you say that? I literally have a couple of clients in Denver getting their life with Asian men. See, that's the thing. If you're in the Bay Area, and this is why y'all need to come into my program, because I give you general tea, but I don't give you the tea like I give my clients. Don't date white American men in Denver or the Bay Area. You want to date the men of color there, the Indian men, the East Asian men, the Eastern European white men, not the white American men. Empress E said, going on a first date, haven't been on one for a while. Well, great. Have fun. What should I ask? This is such a great question because so many people think that dating well is asking the right questions, but you can ask any question and a man can lie to you. So it's not about the questions, actually. So generally what I would say is have fun, do a lot of bantering, have a couple of moments where you are a little bit more vulnerable so that you can evaluate his response to your vulnerability to see if he's emotionally available and sensitive, and then go from there. In my program, I actually have a rating system for each and every date. And my clients reach out after every date and we do a date download either with myself or another coach in the program. So just to give you a sense of how the program works. And if that's something that you're interested in, definitely click the link in my bio and book a consult. Miss RN said, you didn't warn me about Muslim and Arab men. What do you mean? I would like to think that I warn you about all men. I surely would hope so, you know. Butterfly said, I love that you're married. I love that I'm married too. Most of the time. No, I'm kidding. Okay. Let me see some of the questions. My friend is into Serbian men. Thoughts on how to attract them? Well, first, great. She should be, because Serbian men are into Black women, as are Croatians, Southern Italians, Turkish, Irish, Dutch, German. So I would focus on cities that have like a significant European, specifically Eastern European contingency, right? So tech hubs like Austin, New York, Bay Area. That's where I would be. A lot of my clients that are in the Bay Area actually get with Eastern European men, especially in the San Jose area. Okay. Someone said, how long do we need to date before committing if he's saying he's ready, but I'm taking it slower? I would never get into a relationship before like the 2-month mark. Many African men will tell you on the first date that they want to be exclusive with you. Or the first month. Don't do it. Because anybody can play a role for 3 or 4 weeks. The mask can generally come off around the 3-month mark. And a man actually won't know if he wants to be with you until he has been courting you for at least 2 months. And thank you all so much for the almost 36,000 likes up here on TikTok. I appreciate it. What's the best age range to date when you're in your late 30s? I would say probably plus 6 years or minus 6 years plus 10 years. Okay. Jocelyn said, what are the best cities to date in? I would say the DMV area, suburbs, not DC proper. I would say New York, Chicago, and North Carolina. Someone said, where's your link? In my bio. It should be, unless they took it away, girl, because TikTok is very different since January of this year. Yeah, Chicago's suburbs, again. Girl, ladies, suburbs is where it's at. You should host an event in Chicago. I will be for my clients next summer. I visit my clients, every other month. So in January, I'll be in Northern California. In March, April, we'll be in London for all my clients there. And then in July, we'll be in Chicago. If she's still... Hold on. How old should your kids be before you start dating? I would say probably 2 years old. They gotta know how to walk before you dating, girl. Girl, I think the first year of a child's life is very important as someone who's had 3. And I think it's very hard to be fully invested in your dating life when a child is so young. So that's why I say that more than anything else. Everyone says not to date men with kids under 5. Well, a lot of women don't actually want to date men, one, in general, but two, anybody with kids. So, I mean, again, there are no 100% rules here. Do you know what I'm saying? And I say that as someone who sees so many different pairings happening that actually works. Okay? Someone said, I know you don't have any in Baltimore. I sure do. Do you have any clients in Scottsdale? Not Scottsdale, but Arizona, Phoenix area. Have a couple of ladies there. Are we still waiting for men to approach? I think one of the things that I think is important is that men are not approaching in the same way that they used to. So you're going to have to learn how to give the green light. And there are some women that feel comfortable doing that and other women that don't. So what we do in the program is give you strategies so that you know how to do this in a way that feels comfortable for you. I call it opening the space, and we give our ladies, 10 to 12 different ways to do that, to find a way for them to feel comfortable while they are engaging out and about. I have a podcast called Two Numbers, One Drink, where I challenge you to, when you're out, get two numbers from men and get them to pay for a drink for you. So definitely check that out. Give a little bit of tea. Okay. Moral lesson, why do they disappear after a great first date? If I'm being honest with you, it's because it wasn't a great first date for them. And the fact that it's a great first date for you and not for them is the disconnect. Right? So oftentimes this will happen for a number of reasons. One, you might have talked too much. Two, you might have interrupted them quite a bit. Three, you might have been like a negative Nancy, right? A lot of women actually are quite critical. Even if you're not like saying something directly about them, but you're complaining or being shady or judgmental about something else, it's a huge turnoff. So something that you might want to think about, right? The other thing too is that sometimes, and I'm not saying this to be rude, I'm saying this because I wanna give it to you straight, no chaser. Sometimes we're boring. And I say that because actually what I've learned in doing this work for 16 years is that some of us get really nervous that we're not able to show our true authentic self, or we feel like we have to perform for men because that's how so many women are socialized. And especially if you're a woman of color, sometimes we feel like we have to put ourselves in a box to be palatable. And so we actually end up being very edited and like overly curated for our date versus just like being our authentic self. So I want to offer that for anyone that might be the case. Yeah. Where can I find the podcast? Spotify, Apple, wherever you listen to podcasts. It's called the Get Your Guy Coaching Podcast. Yeah. Someone said eHarmony was my strategy, but it's terrible. Don't get on eHarmony. A lot of women will get on these like Christian sites thinking that it's going to be a better experience. Oftentimes it's the same experience or worse, especially because you have these higher expectations. You actually will get more disappointed and it will turn you off from online dating and dating in general. If you are someone that is focused on a Christian man, a religious man, and if you feel like you have to do one app like that and one mass app like Hinge or Bumble or OkCupid or Coffee Meets Bagel or Match or whatever. Okay? That's what I would say to you. And thank you all so much for the gifts. I'm getting so many gifts. Yo, thanks for the ice cream cone and the glow stick and the cake slice and the GG. Thank you so much for all of those. I appreciate it. Little Miss Cupcake Liv said, what are your thoughts on the whole data analysis? Especially if you are not in a regular, like, momentum of dating. People think that, oh, like, if I just focus on finding my husband, it's gonna be great. You actually have to get some momentum. So if you haven't dated in a while and you haven't had a date, you want to date them all so that you can get your bearings around how to date. Because some of us, dating is kind of like riding a bike, but you gotta like ride a bike to know how to do it, right? You gotta get into a mode. Why? Because if you have momentum, you'll be less attached while you're dating. And that is so important when it comes to success. Okay? Let me see what's going on. Lisa, thank you so much for the 4850 roses. It's so nice of you. Okay, let me see. Someone said 20-year age difference. Absolutely, Chris. Who's what age? Let me talk. Someone keeps on saying, oh my God, dating is exhausting. How? How is it more exhausting than everything else that you're doing? Is your job exhausting? You have to learn certain skills to be successful at it, right? And after you have those skills, then you can do it without even thinking. Someone said dealing with men is exhausting. It's exhausting if you're attached to outcomes. It's exhausting if you are letting men affect you. The fact that they're affecting you lets me know that we're giving men too much power. That you're actually centering them without even knowing it. You realize that, like, a lot of the things that I talk about, it's not about do this for a man to get him. That's not what dating is about. So realize that just like in everything else in your life, you will have to learn it. Someone said, I hate them so much. If you hate them, you have already lost. You've already given them power, and you've already centered them. If you hate men, you have centered them. Men should be a neutral fact of life. And if you're not there, then there's work for you to do. Okay? I just want to offer that. Someone said how to decenter. Well, the way that you decenter men is by decentering your parents. If you're still living for your mom's approval and doing things because you don't want your mom to judge you, or, you know, you're still living like a daughter and not a woman, then you're going to center men because you're still decentering your mom. And that's real tea. Let's be honest here, sisters. Who's centering their parents? And I say this with no judgment, by the way. Absolutely no judgment. Because when you're in a black or a brown household, the household is centered around the parents. For many non-colored, with a U, households, the center are the kids. So this is, again, another reason why I'm a dating coach for Black and brown women, because there's a different experience. There are different challenges, unique challenges that you will have to work through, heal from, to actually get into amazing relationships. Someone said, I pay all of my parents' bills. Stop. It's inappropriate. That's not your responsibility. You are their husband. You're the man in their lives. Inappropriate. If you're centering them, then you will never center yourself in any of your relationships, because your parental relationships is the foundational bonding pattern. So if you're doing it with them, then you will always treat yourself and be okay with being a second-class citizen in all of your relationships. It's very important. Romantically, even with your friends. If you're the girl who's always calling your friends, if you're the girl who's always trying to make plans and everybody responds but they don't initiate, you've centered them. This is why I say you are going to have to center yourself and decenter your parents. Are we ready for that conversation tonight, ladies, or not really? Let me know. I think you come to me because I give you context. I give you multidimensional analysis. I'm not like these other girls. Okay, the girls are ready tonight, honey. Because sometimes we're not. Someone said, Anwar, I just met a Nigerian man and he's been perfect so far. I'm so scared. Don't be scared, because he's been perfect with you, and he's been perfect with his wife in Nigeria, and he's been perfect with the other woman across town. Nigerians are perfectionists. So don't freak out thinking that he's not going to be perfect. Freak out knowing that 10's across the board. Did I lie? Did I lie? Honey, the Nigerian parents are really hard and strict, so perfectionism is very much how Nigerians are raised. Honey, I'm always going to come for the Nigerian men. Always. Because they've hurt my sisters the worst. The worst. Millie said, the one Nigerian guy I dated was popping kids out everywhere and still is to this day. I'm not surprised. Why do I say this? I say this because I do think it's important for you all to realize, if you are a Black American woman, the probability that that Nigerian man will marry you is so low. Even if he is courting you down, he is going to end up marrying a Nigerian woman. 9 times out of 10. Like 9.8 times out of 10. And the more that you know this, the more you can take them so unseriously. Okay, ladies? Okay. Let me see some of these questions in here. What are the best photos to display on your dating profiles based on what type of man you want to attract? Well, I don't really want to focus on what of man you want to attract. I want to focus on pictures that actually truly represent you and your lifestyle. Okay, so what does that mean? A lot of the girls will take a lot of all selfies or all pictures traveling. Mm-mm. You want to represent what your everyday lifestyle looks like. So maximum one travel pic, maximum one selfie. But where would I see you on a Tuesday night? What would you be doing on a Saturday morning? What are you doing on a Sunday afternoon? Those are the pictures that I want to see. I want to see you at dinner. I want to see you on the golf course. I want to see you hiking. I want to see you at a festival, right? I want to see you at a museum. I want to see you at home with a book, right? Those are the pictures that I want to see. Also, I don't want to see skin. Some of the girls think that the more messages you get, the better. Yeah, girl, if even myself, if I wore a bikini or if I gave you Janet Jackson, I get a lot of hits too. But you should be focused more on quality than quantity. Okay? So, if I see more skin than clothing, the pick is out. If you're doing one of these, and I'm a gay man and I'm looking straight at your butt, that's a problem. If your slit of your dress is so high that I'm starting to see some of your tiger marks, you know what I mean? That's an issue. Okay? I have to say this because there are some girls that are doing it for the gram, doing it for the attention, and that's not a great way to do it. You're just gonna attract the wolves. And not the good ones, not the ones on Twilight, girl. The ones that will eat you alive. Okay? Someone said, dang, I need to update my pics. You sure do. Mercedes said, what are your opinion on black alt rocker men? Those are probably the best eaters, no shade. No shade, girl. Anyone have one of them? You probably not here because you did. Because they took you to heaven and hell at the same time, girl. Took you right outside your body. Girl, they rocking and rolling with that punani, girl. So, heaven help me and heaven help you. Someone said, may this love find me. I hope it finds all of us, girl. Look at me, girl. I'm holding my hands, girl, because I don't even know what to do. Girl, eating. Eating, girl. Eaten. Okay. Someone said your thoughts on a separate Insta for dating. Well, what are you giving on your normal Insta where you can't date? For me, what I share with my clients is that I don't want us to be giving any man that we haven't been on a third date with any social media. It has a lot of information on it. So Glenda from Wicked says, Anwar, why are you coming on here acting out on Thanksgiving week? Girl, why not? I'm trying to get y'all with some men, honey, that will split you like a wishbone. You hear me? That's why. Gobble, gobble. That's right, honey. Someone said, and we are thankful. BB said, do you work with older women? I do. I have a 78-year-old, 69-year-old in my program right now. Okay, let me see what y'all are talking about. What's your view on men who cross their legs? Well, as someone whose legs are crossed right now, I think it depends. There are men who are so secure in their masculinity and manhood that, like, they're not thinking twice about it. Also, the gag is that a lot of these straight men that do it, no shade, they just, girl, sometimes they pack and girl. I know y'all are like, well, where does it go? Girl, it's under, girl. They just sitting on it. Do you hear me? Yes, honey, this is a BAP shirt, girl. Girl, that's my movie, girl. That's my movie. They don't make movies like that no more. Honey, somebody said Obama does it. And you already know. That's why Michelle smiles like that. No shade, girl. No shade. No shade. Simply, Jim said, do you have Muslim clients? I do. I surely do, honey. I surely do. Okay, let me see what the girls. Anwar, do you believe in sneaky links just for your own satisfaction in the dry season? Well, here's what I will tell you. Someone said, Child Michelle is coming for you. Let her come for me. Jesse Williams crosses his legs a lot too, and we already know he's... If it's 8, don't hate. That's all I gotta say. Let me see what the question is. Y'all making me gag. Sneaky links for own satisfaction. Here's what I will tell you about sex while dating. Well, one, it's a little bit dangerous, but if you have protection, amazing, great. Ladies, let's get on PrEP if you can. Sometimes having sex can awaken a femininity in you that is not necessarily there in your everyday life. Do you know how sometimes like you get it in and you're like the cobwebs are out and you're like, bitch, I'm a woman now. Sweetie, I am feminine. And you just you're in your oats, girl. You're in your feminine oats, right? So sometimes that can actually help you ooze femininity and make you want to flirt with men and women and all of that. Yeah? Yeah, so sometimes that works for you. Okay? Okay, Love Some Brown said, damn, he almost saw my question. Yiza said, when should I give my Lithuanian boyfriend some punani? Together now for a month. If you're in an exclusive relationship, you're committed, girl, should have been gave it, girl. Do it when you're ready. I'm going to give you the high school speech. Don't let these girls pressure you. Don't let these boys pressure you. Do it when you're ready. But if it were me, girl, I'd be in a wheelchair by now. No shade. Call Doll said, do you think women need to go on PrEP? I do, if you're sexually active in this day and age. Lisa said, how do you work with narcissists? What do you mean? Like in my program or like if you're in a professional setting with them? Millie said, have you had celibate clients? 100%. 100%. Someone said, so true, so many DL men. I want to let you know that STIs and HIV are not just a DL thing. There are so many men that have herpes, and because they don't go to the hospital and check themselves out, have no idea that they have it. DL or not. Okay? For example. So there's a little bit of homophobia when you just attribute STIs and, HIV rates to bisexual, DL, or homosexual men. Okay? A lot of straight men have it too, but no one talks about it because you have these numbers coming in from women because they're the ones that are going to the hospital and making sure that their health is good. Okay? Yeah. Melted bonded jewelry. Menopause woman here. Not feeling sexy, but I want to date. Any advice? Yes. HRT, hormone replacement therapy. I had a podcast with a urologist. She said that is really helpful. Also, I think it's going to be, when you're not feeling sexy, we have to explore why that's the case. What is it about your existence that you don't find sexy? And we need to make sure that everything is sexy, everything that you do. The way that I drink this kombucha. With tongue, sexy. The way I do this, sexy. The way I do this, sexy. Everything that you do has to ooze sex. And sometimes it's gonna feel fake until it doesn't. Keep on doing it. See, the girls are gagging. Even though they can't have me, they want me because I'm just oozing my sex. Yeah? You'd be surprised how magnetic you will be by flowing with just that sexiness. Vivi said, these men don't even like condoms. If a man says he doesn't like condoms, don't sleep with him. Do you hear me? One, sir, no one asked you, but two, he's testing to see if he can hit it raw with you based on your reaction to it. This is predatory questioning and behavior. Kate Cool said, I got a boyfriend from your advice and he is amazing and makes me feel so feminine and cherished. What is some advice you have for how much to give in the beginning of a relationship for a woman? It really depends. I have a program called the Get Your Ring program. So when my ladies get into relationships, they're automatically enrolled in this program where we help you with relationship skills and how to manage and allocate that. So if that's something that you're interested in, definitely book a call, a consult call, so that you can understand that a little bit more. Okay? Someone said, give nothing and receive. That's a lot of people think that, but this isn't dating anymore. This is a relationship and it requires different skills. Yeah. Where do I book a call? Go to the link in my bio and you can book a call that way. Tatiana said, I finally made it to one of your lives. Welcome. Kiara said, you have a podcast? I sure do, girl. It's a top relationship podcast in the world. It's called the Get Your Guy Coaching Podcast. Yeah. C-Suite said, are you still doing trips for ladies to great international destinations? I didn't do it this year because I was writing my book, but I think we're going to start that next year. Okay? BB says, how much is your program? Depends. I have a group program for $3,500. I have a VIP one-on-one program for $7,500 for an entire year. And we have payment plans around that. Okay? Wabi Sabi said, did you hear about the Danish deception story? I did. I did. I did. I feel so bad for that girl. They are dragging her. But here's the thing, and I hope that you feel this when you're in my lives. One of the things that I know is that women of color, especially Black women, and especially African and Caribbean women, do not know how to date and also don't know when people are hurting them and manipulating them. Why? Because many of those kinds of parents manipulate them all day, every day. So it's actually, those cultures oftentimes will lean into that because it's familiar. So I'm not here to shade her like some of these other girls are. I understand where it comes from. What I am shading is the people around her that did not look out for her and say, girl, this ain't it. I love you. And I'm okay sacrificing the relationship to tell you this is not it. Okay? So, I'm not going to be here to shade any Black woman. Even the ones that come for me. What I am here to do is to empower, to encourage, to motivate, and just make sure that you're living your best life. Jojo said many white parents do that too. Sure do. Sure do. Sure do. Angel Face said, just got my weighted blanket. Good girl, good. Cody said, I love you, Anwar. Thank you, girl. Thank you. Okay. When does the book come out? I'm going to be announcing a little bit about that in the near future. Okay? So please be patient on that. Tomorrow I have an article coming out with CNBC. So look out for that. A. Burke said, you were so right about the Cardi B, Stefan Diggs situation. You know, when you've been doing this all day, every day for 16 years, you've seen it all, you've coached it all. Sometimes you don't want to be right about stuff, but you know how things are going to go. KGLA said, you are in here giving us a group therapy session. Girl, I try my best. I try my best. Ingrid said, best dating coach. Thank you, girl. That's so nice. I know sometimes I'm on some of these lives with some of these other dating coaches, and I'm like, here's, especially for the male dating coaches, some of them are very like patronizing and very like, you're an idiot, and it really disgusts me. So my hope is that you don't feel that way here, that everything that I'm saying is coming from a place of love. Maybe my style is very direct, but I never want you to feel like I'm putting you down in any way, because that's really not my MO. If you've ever felt that way, I do want to apologize, because I never want people to feel that way. Okay? She wrote, oh my gosh, said, is it okay to start dating in January, or should I wait till the spring? Girl, January, girl, January. BB said, I paid $3,500 for a TikTok dating coach, a woman, and it was a total grift. Yeah. In my program, what you'll notice if you do enter into it, and do it when you're ready. There's no pressure. Like, we have tons of clients every day that come in. We have 4 group calls every week. Tuesday night, which was my night, an inner work call. Wednesday night is all about online dating. And then Thursday and Sundays, before and after the weekend, there are Q&A sessions. Not to mention monthly one-on-ones. And that's for the lowest tier for an entire year. That's a lot of support. Okay? So I know that sometimes it feels like, oh my God, this is like an expensive program. There's a lot of support that goes into it that a lot of people don't understand or are not familiar with. And we're really doing deep work here. So like tonight, I helped my clients understand how to find co-conspirators strategically, people that are going to hook you up, right? So I gave them what kind of people they should be going for, how to describe what you're looking for, right? And a follow-up strategy to make it as effective as possible, to give you a sense of like, what are some of the things that we're doing here, okay? Okay. Someone said it's going to take an entire year. For most of my clients, it does take about 9 months to get their get their guy. Now, if you're in certain places, it will take you longer. If you're in Atlanta, if you're in California, it's going to take you longer, but the focus is on you. It's not about getting a guy. You can literally get into a relationship tomorrow if you wanted to, probably with a Nigerian, but it doesn't mean it's going to be the right relationship, right? Liz says, do you accept Latina like me? Girl, when I say black and brown, you're the brown. I don't care what your skin tone is. If you're Latina, you're a brown girl. Okay? Someone said senior special on the 29 News. Okay, you saw that last week. Yeah, it was on TV last week. Yeah, girl, I've been kind of low key for the last 6 months with my book, but I told my people, my team, I gotta put myself out there. So we just pitched to some daytime TV shows, so I'll probably be on daytime TV in the next, in December for sure, since they've generally been, reaching out to me, but I've been kind of chilled out doing some other things for my business. Yeah. The other thing that I will tell you is that I also have Anwar AI. It's only available for clients. So this isn't like regular AI that's going to give you like generic advice. This is actually like specific to how I teach dating and specific to women of color, right? Someone said, what about us Asian ladies? Girl, you better believe it. You know what the funny thing is? Asian and Black women have a lot in common, especially growing up. Okay? So yes, Asian women are very much accepted. Every woman is accepted, okay? The experience focuses and centers the Black and brown experience. Okay? All right. Love Sun Brown. Someone keeps on saying it's a good question. What is the question, lady? Anwar, my question is the one. I don't know what the question... Oh, wait, hold on. I think I might have found it. Can you talk about men who don't like women and how to discern? Great question. So there are a lot of men that don't like women. And the way that you will find that out is to brag. If you brag, they won't be able to help themselves and they will try to cut your legs from under you. Tell them about an amazing presentation that you did, or a promotion that you had, or a success in your life. People that hate other people do not want them to do well. There will be jealousy and envy. This is how you figure it out. Oh my gosh, if you're on a date, you can be like, I am so excited. I had an amazing presentation today. And if he's not cheerleading for you, and by the way, ladies, that is a little bit of a secret that not many people talk about. Husbands, relationship-ready men, they cheerlead the women that they're with. Like, they're the person that is speaking highly of them in front of them, and in other rooms away from them. She's the best at this. He's amazing at this. You know, she's amazing at this. Da da da. The number one cheerleader. But that's the gag though. A lot of girls think that just because he compliments you that he's cheerleading for you. No, you want to see him talking about you to other people. This is why, like, you know, when you're out on a date or if you introduce him to friends or, you know, family, this is what you're looking for. A lot of girls get caught up when these guys are complimenting them or call them beautiful because you haven't been told that you were beautiful growing up. So when some rando does it, it means more to you. No. And I'm saying this for all the smart girls out there because I know a lot of you were told, oh, you're super smart all day long, but you weren't necessarily, you know, told that you were beautiful. Any ladies out there like this? Point Period said, there are great Nigerian men. I know. I know that. Yeah. So please understand that just because a man calls you beautiful doesn't mean that he likes you. Bianca said, I get called cute a lot. Respectfully speaking, you don't want to hear cute from a man. And that's little sister energy. Pixie Dust said, I'm always called cute and affordable. Those are insults in my book. Do you think a man wants to marry a girl that's cute or a girl that's hot? A woman that's beautiful? And I know it's nomenclature and people think, oh, Anwar, are you doing too much? Experience it for yourself. Okay? Adorable is the same as cute. That's not your man. Someone said, what if my man's not a cheerleader? Respectfully speaking, I think the relationship is not going to last. Sorry to say that. Not a long time. I mean, I think it can last like a year or so. But you're going to get tired of cheerleading for yourself and cheerleading for him. And you're going to grow resentful because you're doing a lot of the emotional labor and he's doing nothing. Yeah? Okay. And where we need you on the table during a date on the phone to listen to. Girl, no. I do that for my Hollywood clients. I have a non-advertised program, my Superstar program, where I actually will go out, prep them for the date. They'll have the date and I'll be nearby and giving them tips and tricks and feedback and all that stuff. Shakana HD said, you haven't been wrong yet in taking your advice. Well, thanks, girl. Well, I'm human, so my ego is not big enough for me not to say that I haven't been wrong before. But I will say that I have quite a bit of experience. Key said, I need a matchmaker. I would offer that you are your best matchmaker. And especially if you are a Black woman, those girls, and they're mostly women, they don't know how to match you. Even for the white girls, that success rate is like 5% or less. So for you, it's probably a tenth of that. No shade. Do the math. Knives said, how to know if we are being too guarded and strict? Well, girl, your name is Knives. Yeah, you're being too guarded. If you're asking this question, you're too guarded. You got a photo with sunglasses on, you're too guarded. Yeah? How will you know this more seriously is that oftentimes what happens is that you'll have 2 or 3 dates with a guy and then he'll kind of disappear. If you have that pattern, it's because he hasn't formed an emotional connection with you, even though you might be beautiful, you might be a fun time, like vibes, but there's no emotional connection. There's no vulnerability, so he's just going to step away because he's not inspired. He's not going to feel emotionally safe to you. Someone said, but I look hot in my sunglasses. I'm sure you do, but I wouldn't know that because I can't even see the window to your soul. Someone, Blissful Rose said, Knives, why did he read you down? I read her down because this is what men do. Men are quite intuitive as well. Y'all think that they're oblivious. No, they're clocking you. This is why there are some women that often will regularly be prey for them, that get abused often, because a lot of them, like these men are hunters, right? So they have to observe how you are moving. So when he's seeing all of this, that's why I was talking about the pictures on your dating profiles. He's clocking all of that and making a determination of who you are based on that. So when I'm sharing this with you, this no shade, girl. But that's how they're looking at you. A lot of women think these men don't clock details. They don't clock details that aren't important to them. They're not clocking your contour. They're not clocking your nails, your eyeshadow. DB2U said, do you examine dating profiles for your program? It's what we do in the first week or 2 of the program. We'll do a couple of editing rounds for your profile. Key said, dating after 50 is tough. It is tough. You will have to have a different strategy if you are dating at 50 plus. KGLA said, Predator Mode, Alexis Tyler. Now, that Alexis Tyler, a lot of y'all live for Shira 7. Alexis Tyler is my Shira 7. That's my girl. That's, if you want to know somebody who's telling tea about men and how they move from a sexual perspective, Alexis Tyler is it. She's it. Alexis, 2 S's. ALEXYSS. That's her. Someone said, do I take plan B or nah? Well, what was plan A? That's what I want to know. What's the tea? What's going on? Simona said, double tap the screen, y'all. And thank y'all so much for the 103,000 likes up in here. I know y'all getting carpal tunnel just supporting me, and I appreciate that, but I will not, and I repeat, I will not be paying any medical bills. Y'all better get Obamacare for that, sweetie. Okay, well, I think you should do whatever you can to make sure that you don't have that man's baby. Okay. Okay. What questions do we have? Semi said, advice for dating in Miami for dark-skinned girl is hard. Girl, go north. Go west. Why? Because those Cubans are not fucking with you. And the Haitians in Miami do not make enough money. No shade. You're gonna have to, honey, go to Tampa, honey, get you a rich white man. I hate to say it like that, but actually a lot of my clients end up getting with white men in Florida. Tyler, Tylor. Alexis Tyler. Okay, let me see what's going on. Can I date for fun? Yes, Fakita, please do. All of it should be dating for fun. Don't take dating seriously and don't take men seriously. The reason why you hate men is because you're taking them seriously and you have expectations of them. Yeah. What are some things we could ask to find out if a man has depth? Again, you're focused on what questions to ask. You're going at this as if you were a lawyer. And what I want to offer to you is you have to engender a level of trust to see the depth of a man. And the quickest way to do that is through flirting and bantering. And most of us actually don't know how to banter and flirt. It's one of the biggest modules in my program. Let me know if you know how to banter, if you know how to flirt with men. Because a lot of black and brown women were never taught how to do that. And we're told that that was fast. So they didn't do it. Nope, I don't. I do. I'm from Atlanta. I do a little bit. Now that I do know, I think I do. I flirt too well. Not flirting. That's so true. Nope, I think I'm decent. Yes, honey. Someone said Jezebel spirit. Correct. A tad. I'm a big flirt. Most of y'all are saying no. I accidentally bully them. Right. Girl. I'm less concerned with flirting because flirting has a sexual tinge to it. I'm more focused on bantering. That is playful teasing. Janisha said, any podcast episode on flirting? Oh my God, I have a whole one called Flirting 101, girl. Check it out on the Get Your Guy Coaching podcast. And I spill all the tea. Yeah. That's one of my favorite things to do with boys. Banter with them. Tease them. Shalise said that one is a good episode. Thanks, girl. Yeah. So, yeah, you gotta, if you are bullying them, then you have not mastered banter. If you're getting sexual with them, you have not mastered banter. And once you do, and you have created trust within the connection, then you get to see how they are vulnerable. The other thing that I would say is you be vulnerable and see how they react to that vulnerability. In my experience, that's been quite difficult for many women of color, women in general, but I think there's just unique challenges for women of color. A lot of women think that being vulnerable equals being weak because they've seen their mother do it and be uber feminine. And because she's been disempowered in her relationship or relationships, they vow to never be like their mothers. And so they reject anything that is feminine in nature without realizing that, Your mother had to eat shit because it was her only way to survive. But you live in 2025 where you're able to survive for yourself. So femininity doesn't have to be a weakness for you. Can anyone resonate with that? Yeah. Good. Good. You're not your mother. You can be feminine and not be weak. Okay. Good. All right. Let me get my beauty sleep so I can be prettier than y'all. I'm married, but I'm not dead yet. I gotta keep my heel on all these girls' necks, honey. Oh my God. Strike a midnight, girl. That's when Cinderella comes out. Vanessa Enricia said, I'm signing up for GYG. Good girl. Good. So you were always gorgeous. Girl, not with this gray coming in, girl. I feel old. Old boots, girl. I gotta keep it fresh, honey. How do you sign up? Go to the link in my bio and book a program decision call. Yeah. Someone said the gray is debonair and beautiful. I don't want to be debonair. The gray, for me, is not beautiful. It's distinguished, but I want fresh face. I want to give yacht boy. I want to still be able to pull the NBA players like I used to, girl. I want to be able to pull the rappers like I used to. You hear me? I want to be able to pull them like I used to, sweetie. Yes, someone said your yacht days are over. Age ain't nothing but a number, girl. Someone said, I'm dead. Get it, girl. I don't want to get with them. I just want to know that I can. There's a difference. Confidence in my word game is on point, but you also gotta have a look to get them right.